Hello Beamer collectors, so we have a little trifecta here of some BMW racing cars. So today we're going to talk about the Z4M Coupe, and then those videos will come later. Made by brand Kyosho. It's probably one of my, well, it's the most popular brand in my collection. Not my favorite brand, but for the money they made good models. This is from 2012, so 10 years old. There might be paint rash in here. I don't know if these are used or new. I have a suspicion they're new. I mean, this box looks new. Oh, but wait a second. It's opened. So, it is used. Because this is not a case of blind boxing. There's no other color variations. So, personal collection. I bought online. Alright. Alright, so it looks like all the boxes are identical. Just except for the front image. So the sides and the rear, I guess, are, yeah. Maybe people bought these sets and broke them up for individual sales. That's the only thing I can imagine. Let's see if the Z4 is actually in this one. Maybe it's in one of the other boxes. It is in this one. Okay, so nothing else in here, but there's a card and some Japanese explaining about this car. So in 2006, you know, BMW made this for privateers to purchase. This is their first two-seat race car offered to the public for purchase. It sold for 250,000 euros, so not inexpensive, but it is a race-prepared vehicle. Obviously it's got the wide body kit, and then it's going to have uprated suspension and brakes and all that stuff. It's running on 18-inch wheels. It's powered by a 3.2-liter inline-6, making around 400 horsepower, and it would be rear-wheel drive, I believe, only. Okay, so there's the stats there. I don't know if this is a successful racing car, though. I just don't know. Maybe if you're a BMW fan, you can let us know through a comment. So, typical Kyosho came in that blister. It's going to be screwed to the base. So, let's get that off. Plastic thing keeps it from spinning during shipping. A little pin, but sometimes they break off. Alright, so these are images, obviously, of the real deal, and even this number matches. So, I don't know if this number 4 is a real race car, or just like a random number they put on there to promote the sales of this thing. It's pretty hard to focus with a photo and a model, but that's the best I can do. Hopefully you can see it. Alright, let's go around to the... Well, I'm just comparing myself. It looks pretty good to me. Alright, let's try this rear view here. Yeah, dual exhaust on each side. There's shiny. Third brake light, the roundel, the vents. Yeah, I think Kyosho did alright. Naturally, the wing struts have to be thicker, and this wing is not even horizontal. Alright, let's get into the close-up look here. This is a really shiny paint job, but it is laid in thick because white has a hard time covering up the cast metal. The door handle is, you know, it's got some depth there for the fingers to grab it. And then these vents are pretty neat. They seem to be blanked off, but there is black paint in them, so it's a good illusion of a vent. The wheels here are nicely molded. There's no brake system, though, on these Kyoshos. Yeah, only I think that some of the crystal box ones might have brakes, or like the beads collections. Well, those are crystal box ones. But most blister packs, I don't think they ever have brake systems. This one has the separate white mirrors here. Some of the older ones have casted in mirrors, but this you can have a little better detail. I'm gonna guess this circle represents a fuel filler. The window molding is black painted, and it's actually raised as well. All these sponsorships and printings are tampos, they're not decals, so that's also a nice reason why I like Kyosho's. That roundel, it's unlikely we'll read BMW, but let's try. Yeah, I don't think you can really read it, but it looks like 3 letters, you know, the general shape of it. Now the tires, I think they look pretty good. They're not just flat-sided, so they have some curvature to them. And then you'll see the staggered height, you know, low profile here, a little thicker back there. I'm going to have to assume that's accurate. The riding stance looks pretty good. Right? Not too much of a gap there, so it's believable as a race car. I like that. Big chin spoiler here, and this is metal. It's part of the casting here. So that's interesting that they chose to make it part of the metal instead of part of the base. The headlights look good enough. Class clear lenses, and then they have the pin going into the casting representing one headlight, and there seems to be a molded in detail of a light bucket back there for two headlights. This has actually a real vent, and is bottoming out against the plastic of the base. I can feel a texture. You can hear the crosshatch texture. The grills are separate plastic pieces with a little chrome paint there, so not bad. Oh man, this is one of the nicest paint jobs I've seen by Kyosho. There's no orange peel that I can see. Look at the reflection of the edge of this thing. It's not really wavy. Pretty good, especially for down here. Usually the roof is the smoothest because I think it's closest to the painting ejectors. But it's really, yeah, that's good. I'm just saying it's good. Alright. So the stripes as well, nicely tampo printed. There's no running or fading or anything like that. So very good. The roundel again is good enough. It looks like a BMW logo. The banners here in the windows are tampo printed as well. No decals. Raised painted black wiper blades. You can see some of that black racing interior. I might pull the flashlight on the interior in a second. I'm curious to see what it looks like. This side looks pretty much the same, but we do have a sliding window here. Not there, so yeah, they actually casted a different side. And it's interesting how they casted this, because on the outside you have a depression, but on the inside there's something else, so that gives the illusion that that's a separate piece sliding on the inside surface. So that's pretty good. I don't know if I've seen that from other brands where they mold both sides. So good job, Kyosho. Alright, the vents back here are blanked off again, but they got some black paint, so it looks pretty good. It's not bad. The exhausts are sticking out quite a bit. I don't think the real car has them sticking out this far, but at least they're painted silver, and they have a depression in the middle, although I think this is a separate piece, because this is crooked, this is horizontal. So they must actually be separate pieces of plastic. The taillights look really nice. Thick lenses, and also the white is perfectly separated from the red. It's always a mystery how they do that to me. Unless maybe they painted this red. Yeah, maybe this is clear and they painted the red, because I can kind of see like a texture there on the red. That might be paint texture. Alright, the roundel again seems alright. The third brake light is painted red, and I think there's a depression, like a crease for that. And then we have the wing. It is plastic. It is flexing. But I'm guessing it wasn't pushed in as well as it could be here on this side. See, there's a little pinhole, and this side is pushed in further than that. I'm afraid if I push it down, it might crack the paint. So I'm just going to leave it alone. What's going on here in the back? Looks like there's a roll cage. Let's get the flashlight. Maybe that'll help out if I shine it from the side here. Too much of a reflection from there, so I guess is that a transmission housing there under the roll cage? I can't really tell. You'll see on the right side of the interior it's just a gutted floor pan, and then on the left side would be the driver's seat. Unfortunately, that window thing is getting in the way, so maybe we have to look at it from this side. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so there's the driving seat. In the middle there's a shifter, I'm guessing. I don't see a fire extinguisher. And then unfortunately the banner is making it really hard to see what's going on in there. Yeah, look at the headrest. It's got the bolsters for a helmet. Unfortunately the roll cage has to be low like that because the clear window is spanning the underside of the casting. Well, anyways, I guess it's alright. No complaints from me on this one. So guess for a used model, I lucked out. I don't know why. Maybe the previous owner just left them in the blisters, and that's why there's not much dust or like grime on this. It looks perfectly new. So I do have a bunch of other Kyoshos, of course. Let's take a look at the Z8 by the brand. And then I have a Z4 Roadster, or convertible, however you want to call it, just a regular street one. Really nice blue on that Roadster. So I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but it just seems, because the white paint color of this racing car, the panel lines are not as crisply defined because there's just so much paint getting in there. Whereas this blue one, it seems like the panel gaps are more visible. Right? If that stuff matters to you. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, let's get these guys out, let this thing spin on its own. I decided to pause and put it on the racing coaster. After all, it is a race car. Well, I gotta say, first impressions of this model is pretty good. Hopefully the next two will be just as nice. But you'll see those videos in the future. I never knew about this collection even existing. So every now and then you just gotta, hop on these websites and see what pops up. Because these things are old and out of print. There's no one cataloging everything that Kyosho made. The Kyosho website barely even acknowledges that they make 1/64 models, so it's really a shame that they don't have like some sort of archive. Whereas like TLV, you can go to a website called Japan Booster, and they have a catalog of every TLV ever made. So I'm not sure why Kyosho chooses to just ignore their history. It is odd to me, but well, that's their decision. Alright, well, anyways, so hang out and I'll get those other two videos out there. Thanks, bye.